All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going to talk about the future of what you wear. And trust me, it's way more alive than you could possibly imagine.
So just think about this for a second. What if the shirt you're wearing right now could actually sense how you're feeling? What if it could change color on the fly or connect you to your digital life? Sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, right? Well, it's not. We are literally on the edge of a revolution in textiles that's going to completely change how we think about our clothes forever. And this quote from Amber J. Slotin really just nails it. It perfectly captures the two big ideas we're going to explore. On one hand, you've got these radical, brand new ways to express yourself, and on the other, a huge shift towards sustainability. It's a future that's being built right at the intersection of science, design, and just completely rethinking what a piece of clothing can even be.
So, to really get this, we gotta go back a bit. Our story actually kicks off with a really ambitious scientific dream, all the way back in the late 90s. Yeah, a bunch of universities got together and laid the groundwork for all of this. And their goal, it was audacious. They wanted to create fibers that could literally change color. Not just one color, but across the entire visible spectrum, with just a tiny little zap of electricity.
Okay, so the science behind this has a fancy name, electrochromism. But don't worry, the concept is actually pretty straightforward. In a nutshell, it's about creating these tiny molecular-level devices that change how they play with light when you give them a little jolt of electricity. The best way to think about it, it's like weaving individual microscopic pixels right into the fabric itself.
So, how did they pull it off? Well, the process was pretty brilliant. First, they had to design these special molecules that could change color. Then, they figured out how to basically glue these molecules onto a polymer fiber. You weave that fiber into a piece of cloth, and then you apply a tiny electric shock. That shock literally changes the molecule's shape, and voila, the color you see changes right before your eyes. And here's the part that's just wild. The amount of power this needed was tiny. Ridiculously small. The researchers got a visible color change from green to a light blue using just 3 to 7 volts. To put that in perspective, that's about the same power you'd get from a couple of AA batteries. This was huge because it proved the whole idea wasn't just some lab experiment. It could actually work for clothes you could wear every single day. Okay, so that's the science from way back in '99. But how do we get from a lab experiment to the actual clothes we might be wearing tomorrow? Well, that vision is becoming a reality right now, and it's taking two really different, really interesting paths.
Okay, so path number one. You've got companies embedding all sorts of tiny electronics, we're talking LEDs, sensors, you name it, right into the clothes. The goal there is to create these spectacular visual and even emotional experiences. Then you have path number two, where pioneers are weaving special conductive yarns into the fabric, basically turning your clothes into a seamless, invisible control surface.
A perfect example of that first path is a company called Cute Circuit. They've been doing this since 2004, so they are true pioneers. They're all about creating these emotional connections. Get this, they made something called the Hug Shirt, which lets you send the feeling of a hug over Bluetooth. No joke. Then there's the Galaxy Dress, which is basically a wearable screen made of 24,000 LEDs. And the graphene dress actually changes color based on your breathing. It's this incredible living connection between you and your clothes. Now that second path, it's the total opposite. It's all about making the tech disappear. And that is exactly what Google's Project Jacquard is all about. They figured out how to weave these superconductive yarns into any regular fabric, using the same looms that make our clothes today. So what's the result? Well, the sleeve of your jacket or the strap on your backpack suddenly becomes a touchpad. You can just swipe or tap it to control your phone, your music, whatever. So let's just put these two side by side for a second. You have Cute Circuit, which is all about being bold and expressive. They use tech to create an emotional feeling. It's literally like you're wearing a screen. Then you have Project Jacquard, which is all about being invisible and integrated. They use tech for seamless control. It's more like weaving a touchscreen right into your clothes. See the difference? Both are pushing fashion into the future, but they're coming at it from completely different angles. All right, hang on, because we're about to take an even bigger leap. We've talked about weaving tech into fabric, but what if fashion didn't need fabric at all? That question from Amber J. Slotin at the Fabricant is everything. It's the entire idea behind her company, which is a fashion house that only makes digital clothes. Think about it. What if we could get that feeling of self-expression, of wearing something new and cool, without ever having to make a physical thing? So what the Fabricant does is create these absolutely stunning, one-of-a-kind digital outfits. You can wear them in your photos, on social media, in video games. You get the idea. It taps into that very real human need to express ourselves and try new things, but
And this is the key, it completely separates that from physical production. That means zero waste, zero pollution, and pretty much zero carbon footprint.
And when you look at the environmental impact, I mean, the numbers are just staggering. Check this out. A study found that making just one regular t-shirt pumps out about 7.8 kilograms of CO2. The digital version? Only 0.26 kilograms. That's a reduction of more than 96%. It's insane.
And that's just the CO2. Let's talk about water for a second. A single physical t-shirt uses, on average, 683 liters of water to make. That's a lot of water. For a digital t-shirt, that number is zero. Zilch. It's a really powerful case for completely rethinking how we do fashion. Okay, for our last section, let's pull all these different threads together. We've got the responsive textiles, the interactive fashion, and that zero-waste idea from digital clothing. Let's see what happens when we weave them all into one single vision for the future. And that vision has a name: neurofashion. This right here is the next frontier. We're talking about creating clothes that don't just react when you push a button or get a tweet. We're talking about clothes that understand you, your stress level, how focused you are, your mood, and then actively work to make you feel better. So how would a sixth sense garment even work? Well, imagine this. It starts with sensors woven right into the fabric that measure things like your skin conductivity and your heart rate variability, which is a really good indicator of stress. Then, a little AI chip right on the garment itself. And this is important. It keeps your data private, right there with you. Figures out how you're feeling. And then, it can use those color-changing fibers we talked about to shift its pattern, or use tiny little motors to give you a gentle, calming vibration. It's a real-time conversation between you and what you're wearing. But this isn't just about having cool gadgets. The real goal here is something called emotional durability. Think about it. If your jacket can actually help calm you down when you're stressed or help you focus when you need to, it's not just a piece of clothing anymore, is it? It becomes a partner. You're going to value it more, keep it longer, and that personal connection is a really powerful way to fight back against the wear it once and throw it away culture of fast fashion.
I mean, this is a total paradigm shift. Right now, fashion is static. It's a dead object. We have to change ourselves to fit the clothes, and when the trend is over, the clothes are obsolete. But neurofashion? It's a dynamic partner. It changes with you, for you. It stays relevant because its trend is you.
So there you have it. That's a peek into the future of fabric. From fibers that can change color, to fashion that exists only in the digital world, to clothes that can actually feel. The next generation of what we wear is being woven as we speak. And it leaves us with one last kind of wild question to think about. When our clothes get this smart and this personal, will we be changing our clothes? Or will they be changing us?